Hello, 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 everybody. Hold on. I think we might have a boo boo. Okay, I think I caught it in time. Good morning, gorgeous. How are you? I am sorry about the washout light here. I kept trying to get a handle on it. Okay, is that better? I hope so. Okay, so how are we today? I might have to um, ask. My daughter is trying to call me, and I hate not to answer those calls. I think she knows that I'm live. Um, okay, so first of all, hi. We're starting with A as usual, all aboard. So I am your baby boomer, Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate on this thoughtful Thursday here in the den. You can also reference me as Mama Cougar. Uh, yes, it's all of what it sounds like. All right, so we come in today at 539 subscribers. Yay, go us. And our viewing hours are at 1,563. We have 1437 to go, guys. 1437. And I thank each and every one of you who are watching the videos, sharing the videos, liking them, commenting on them. I guess you see, I get back to those comments as soon as I can. What I'm finding is that YouTube is not dropping all of the comments where we can get to them. We have to go to various places to pull the comments up. Hmm. But I'm trying. Okay, so now we move on to the letter B, which is for breakfast. Y'all, I had cheese curls. No cap. I had 15 cheese curls. That was enough for a serving and enough for me to take my medicine. So I did that. And then, of course, for the C, for coffee. Well, I had leftover coffee. I had more than a half a container of coffee. I got just a teeny weeny bit left. So that's what I'm sipping on for coffee. Of course, you know, D, I have to have my water. Have to. For some reason, my coffee yesterday was exceptionally sweet. I think that's why I didn't drink all of it. So now we move on to E, which I've already gone over. Don't forget to subscribe. When you do subscribe, please hit that bell with the dimples so that you always know when I'm dropping fresh new content. Also, share the video so that other people can get what you guys are getting. And then like the videos so it can push us out there in the algorithms. And of course, comment on the videos. Okay, I'll focus for today. So I did not finish the Stitcher Hood shells by the bag. The reason I did not finish it is because, y'all, this blanket is going to be so worth it to whoever gets it. It really, really is, because you know the struggles I had in the beginning where I switched hooks and it made it look all wonky. So I frogged the whole thing and started all over. Well, where I thought I needed X amount of rows to finish, I actually, gotcha, baby. I actually needed to add more because I forgot I had a design element down at the bottom. And we're not talking about the good news today. I had to add that element at the top as well to balance it out. So the question was, do I frog it back to where I can add that design element, or do I just build it up at the end? And I chose to build it up at the end. It was either frog back 3 rows or add 10 rows. So I chose to add 10. Of those 10, I think I've done 6.5. And you can see that it has definitely been worked on. So this is the part that I'm talking about here. I forgot that these two rows, and there's actually another row of this that has to be added here. And I had forgotten about that. And I was like, oh. So I decided to keep going instead of frogging it back and starting these down here. So the very next row that I go across is going to add the one more design element row, and then we'll finish it out. So that's all I have left there. I'm excited about that because it's going to be done. And the other focus today is behind me. It's the Snow Sprout beanies. I chose to stick with all of one pattern instead of doing the three that Juan introduced. I'm sticking with the one. I do know that he asked for donation caps or donation beanies, that they be either or all of his patterns, because those patterns have been cleared by the donation sites. So keep that in mind. And then the other thing, maybe it's a square day. I don't know. But if I get those two done, I need 20 more beanies and I need 3 more rows here. And hopefully I can get those done today. And we're not doing good news today. I am not doing the good news today. So everything that I mentioned is not the good news that only you were supposed to know about. So now I'm not telling anybody. I'm keeping it all to myself. Yes, y'all, I have a secret. And I'm keeping it. Absolutely. So, like I said, maybe I'll go into the squares after that. Which squares? I don't know, because we got February squares, we got March squares, and we got the 100 squares, and we just got a whole bunch of squares. My baby girl, she's home. We've laid eyes on each other. We've laid smiles on each other, so we're good. Okay, we'll go from there. I can slow down a little bit now because she is here. And one of the reasons I was rushing is because I'm going into the story mode. Now, we were going as far as R, but I'm going to skip all the way to S and tell you the story. I'm going to skip all the way to S and tell you the story. I don't know yet, sis. Information, I'll let you know as I know. But I'm going to skip all the way to S. So let's talk about Meals on Wheels. They just came. Okay. Let's talk about Meals on Wheels. So when they set you up for Meals on Wheels, they send you through this whole shebang. It's like when you go to the doctor's office for the first time. They ask very intrusive information, of course, and then they ask the pertinent information, like, what is your mobility status? Are there any stairs? Do you have any animals? All this stuff that they need to know. So then you answer these questions and you let them know, hey, we're on the first floor, but my bedroom is all the way in the back and I'm hard of hearing, so I need you to knock hard. And I declare everybody they send knocks like this. Please tell me y'all heard that. All the way in the back bedroom, being hard of hearing. And then according to their protocol, if you don't answer, they will try to call you. Y'all know I've been getting of spam calls, right? Okay, so I don't answer every call. These calls are coming through with no names attached to them. I'm sorry. So if they don't get you, what they're supposed to do is call your emergency contact. Y'all know me well enough by now to know who that is. And she lives right here in the apartment with me. But does her phone ring? No, they never call her. This is their protocol. This is what they say they're going to do. They not like this, sis. That's how they not. They not like they're in, what's the name of it? Sleepy Hollow in Fairyland. And they're afraid they're going to break the door. So day before yesterday when the lady knocked during my live, of course, I didn't hear her. Did she call? Of course. And the message she left was not very friendly. You know, Miss Sargent, this is so-and-so, and we tried to deliver your meal, but you didn't answer your door, and apparently you're not answering your phone. And then the other message that I gave them, along with giving them specific directions as to where I'm located in the apartment complex, because a lot of people tend to go to the wrong section. So I tell them we're right across from the play park. Okay. And also, if you don't reach me by voice, please text me. Does that ever happen? No. But they say, sure, that's great, you know, and I tell them why. I tell them why. Because I get a ton of spam calls. Guys, from 9 o'clock in the morning to about 7:30 at night, I'm getting at least, not a medium, at least 60 spam calls. And sometimes they're coming in so frequently that as I'm answering one, another one is coming in back to back. So you know what I do? I put them on a conference call with each other. Makes sense to me. They need somebody to talk to. So, you know, and just to give you a heads up, they have this new thing going around now that when you answer your phone, because AI is out now, they're taking voice recognition. So they are suggesting that for the first 3 seconds, at least, of your phone call, if you answer, don't say anything, which I don't. I answer the phone, I put it on mute, and I hit the record button. So when they hear the thing that says your message is being recorded, typically they hang up if they're not talking with each other. I just looked at my phone. I got time today. I'm just saying. Okay, guys, on to the letter G, our group fun. So last night we had Let's Chat Stitches with Juan. Not going to deny I missed some of it. I did. I did when it first came out because I fell asleep. I did. I fell asleep. But I woke up and caught the second half of it, and I was glad to do it. So my challenge to you, as far as I don't care how far along or how new you are in your crochet journey, every alternate Wednesday, go check that out. Go check out Let's Chat Stitches. I guarantee you, if you don't walk away with a load of new information, you're going to pick up at least one thing, that you either forgot or didn't know. It's amazing. It's amazing the plethora of information there is out here in the Yarny community. It's mind-blowing. Okay, also on every other Wednesday, also with Juan, you have the Wildcard Wednesday Challenge Week, aka hashtag WWCW. WWCW. Exactly. Juan teaches me something new every time. He teaches all of us something new every time. I'm just so blown away about one of the time he was flashcarding stitches. And this one stitch that I saw, it actually looked like a toggle bolt, and I was like, never seen that. I have never, ever, ever seen that. But then again, I had never heard of a bullion stitch. I had never heard of a bullion stitch. And that's what it was. And it forced me to go look it up. And I was like, wow. And I can't wait to get to a project where I'm actually going to use that stitch. Yes. Yes, he does. Thank you, Joan, for reminding me of that. He does. The way Juan does his picks on the challenge days, he comes up with about 5 ideas that he wants to add for that bi-weekly challenge. And then he allows the audience to participate with the rest of it. So you get the opportunity to throw in suggestions as to what you want him to pick from. And he takes 50 suggestions, and then he goes through, is it Google? I think he goes through Siri. But whether it's Google or Siri, he goes through one of them, or Alexa, I don't know. I think Alexa is Google. Okay, but anyway, he goes through one of them and he picks out actually 4. The 5th one is his pick. He picks 1 out of his 5, and then he picks 4 out of the group of 50. So you have 5 challenges every bi-weekly that you go through, or you don't have to participate, but there is fun. There is fun in watching it and even participating in helping to decide what that challenge is going to be. And you keep in mind, this is a 2-week project, and you get to say from your perspective, not from what you think the crowd might like, but you think about it. Okay, I've got 3 blankets on my hook. I've got this on my hook and that on my hook. I can make a couple of washcloths. So you get to throw out their washcloths, and it might even get picked. It might even get picked. I try to go for stuff that people don't generally say, like aprons and muffs, to the point that nobody even knew what muffs were. They're the little hand things that you put they were very popular back in the 60s and 70s. They were usually furry on the outside that you just put your hands into to keep your hands warm. Haven't seen any here recently, and I'm thinking, hey, it'd be nice to bring those back, which is why I usually put those in there. And then I say things like small market bags. But think about it. I'm sorry, think about aprons even. How often do we see aprons, period, nowadays, guys? We rarely. I mean, we rarely do. So that's what I look at. I look at what's not frequently in the bunch. And when you start putting these suggestions in, if he doesn't see it right away, you just keep doing it. It's the fun. It's like a thrill. Is he going to pick mine? Is he going to pick mine? Is he gonna, yes, 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 yes. And then the final is like it's like the big sweepstakes prize at the end. Okay. Am I going to be picked? Am I going to be picked? Yes, he picked one of mine. So there's a lot of fun in it. It's a crochet channel, so it's all crochet. It just gives you a break from the pressure of, and I say pressure lightly because I love working under pressure. That's why I challenge myself so hard. It does my heart all the good in the world when I set what I think an impossible boundary and I reach it. Y'all, it does me all the good in the world. So when I have to tell, and there are certain times a year that I have to tell myself, you know what? Calm down, sit back, relax, take it easy, and I think it's because for a long time I was in the commission mode. I was making things for people, and I knew this was where my income was coming from. So I had to be that workhorse. I had to get these things out. And then, now to step back and be like, that's not what we doing now, baby girl. I'm going to need you to calm down a little bit. I need you to go sit in the corner. Don't take the pointed hat with you. Just go sit in the corner for a minute and breathe. So that's what I find myself having to do now. Okay, so further in group fun, please don't forget, overlook, or count out our very own Yes Michelle, my Michelle, my enablister. Yes, I'm selfish. Yes. But I'll share the parts of her with you that you might need, like the Cozy Encyclopedia, guys. I hope you caught the third episode. Please tell me you caught the third episode because it's been dropped. We need y'all to keep up with that. And it may seem, what is it, minuscule? It may seem teeny weeny, but when you go back sometimes to the basics, or if you're like me, I learned from here. Okay, somewhat. Um, I was taught the chain. The lady who taught me was very strict about the chain because she thought the chain was the most important part of your project. And that's cool. That's her thinking. That's cool. I understand and realize now what she meant by that. Wonky chain, wonky project. But we don't have to start every project using the chain row. You know, of course, I didn't know that back then, but as I went along, hello, Kitty and everyone. Hello, Auntie Eileen, how are you? So happy to see you. But as we, grow in our crochet journey, we learn those things. And I'm so happy that she made it a part of me from the very beginning, because I did grow to see that the more even your stitches are, the better your project turns out. I didn't see Vivian. Hello, Vivian. I didn't see you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But secondly of all, um, you learn not to do your chain so tight. Another trick to that, do your chain a hook size up of what you're going to work on your project with, and that will leave it a little looser for you and a little better to work into. But instead of doing all that hook switching, I just learned how to pull back a little. I'm sorry, y'all. I promise you, this is the camera. It's the camera. Another trick that I've learned along the way, and I think here we are. Holding your hook here is going to give you a tight result. Backing up a little bit, it's going to loosen that tension. Backing up even more, it's going to give you a looser tension. So I've learned hook placement in my hand as to how I want my stitches to be. If I see, for instance, a row going wonky, and I know that I can pull it in with the next row, instead of frogging, I may choose to do that next row a little tighter to help pull it back in, as opposed to really, really tight. And I mean, you can get some pretty tight stitches holding it that close. You can. But I'm just saying, those are possibilities as to controlling tension as well. Okay, and also, Michelle has the stitching corner with her stitching buddies, where you can see her. And I think right now that's on Saturday. days, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's like 10 o'clock. I'm sorry. Don't quote me on these times. I give you the information to the creators below, so that you can check all of this out. I'm going off memory. I'm going off of a 62-year-old's memory who has focal seizures occasionally. So, and who's dyslexic. So I'm trying. But please go check out Yes Michelle. Also, if you want to hear some of the cutest stories, guys, and you want to see another workhorse in the crochet community, please go check out Lori Stories and Crochet. That's Lori Stories, not Lori's Stories, but Lori Stories and Crochet. She is in the description box as well. And another one of my favorites is another auntie all the way out of San Antonio, Texas, gives you the best. What had happened was, if I don't go in for anything more, I check out all the what had happened was. And I really meant to go over to the mailbox before I got here because I had happy mail from her and I really want to share that with you guys. Okay, so we moved from G to H, which is our healthometer. My mood is probably around, I'm going to say 9. I'm not like, but I'm pretty up there. And as far as the health is concerned, after my little girly things this morning, when I say girly things, the things that we do in the mornings or whatever time we get up to prep ourselves for the day. So after my little girly things today, I got my 91% alcohol and my olive oil, my castor oil, and put those two together and rubbed them on my joints. Made sure I rubbed my feet down with it. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good health wise. No, added health hurts or pains. So I'm pretty good. So I here again would list that about 9, which gives me a rating of an overall 9 for the day. Yay! And now we move on to the important dates. 25th, 27th. 25th is the day we'll be celebrating our second podversary. It's called Getting Old, y'all. And the 27th is the actual date of our second podversary. And now for our joke of the day. It's more of a one-liner type thing. But anyway, I made yarn disappear. What's your superpower? I thought that was cute. I thought we moved from J, of course, to K, which is, remember, the Crochet with Kitty. I told you about this one not coming out today. I'm hoping it'll be out tonight because what I want to do is film the last of this blanket. Yeah, I want to do the last of this. And then we can toss it in the wash and all that good stuff. Okay. And then I'll get another one out to you tomorrow. Okay. So now we go into L. That is what our new name for Friday is going to be, which is Let's Stretch. That's what I get out there. That's the first thing we do on Friday mornings when I pop up here. And it's just your stretches for the week. So I'm calling that, I think I'm going to call it like Flex Friday, but for the purpose of fitting into my ABCs here, I call it Let's Stretch here, but it's going to be like Flex Friday. and we'll just get in our finger and arm stretches. And is it mandatory every time before you crochet? That again is an individualized thing because there's some people who don't crochet more than a few minutes a day. Is it going to hurt you not to stretch? No, it's not going to hurt you. But for those of us who crochet a lot more, excuse me, it is recommended several times a day. No, not a month, not a week, a day. You want to keep those fingers limber. You want to keep those wrists flexible. You want to relieve some of the weight and tension from the shoulders. You want to stretch those arms out because we sit like this so much with our arms like right up under us, so much that we're telling our muscles, hey, it's okay to stay right here. Hey, it's okay to stay right here. So we have to stretch them out to remind them, hey, this is the way you do this. This is the way you go. Okay? And, excuse me, again, like me, I sit like this when I crochet. I hunch over. So we got to keep that back stretched as well to remind our back, hey, we don't sit that way. We need to sit nice and tall like this. So that is our L, and then we move on to M. You're going to listen to the M because you know what we're going to talk about with the M. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that is our journal. Our journal. Don't forget your journaling. Like I said, 10 easy entries. Your mental state when you wake up and when you go to sleep. You're so funny, John. Your health when you get up and when you go to sleep. 3 things that you would like to do throughout the course of the day. 2 people that you plan to contact that you have not contacted in a while. I don't care if it's just a text that shows somebody going, it's fine. It's fine. You can do that. And the last entry or the last portion of the entry is to overall sum up how your day went. Couple of sentences, a paragraph. You're fine. Okay, on to news. I have no new news. I have no new news. If I were to snag anything and put it into new news, I'm still finding new crochet channels. I am. I am still finding new crochet channels, and it's refreshing and enlightening to see the younger people coming out and going through this with what is it? The journal, the journal, Jones Journal. Mm-hmm. Jones Journal. That's what she's missing. Okay, so we're gonna skip O and we're gonna go to P, which I don't have anything under P except Purple Passion. This is what the next sets of beanies are gonna be made of. And I think I just pulled some off of the ball here. So these are gonna be Snuggle Sprouts. All of them are so soft. They really are. And from there, we move on to Q, our quote of the day. It does not have an author, so our author is anonymous, but I thought it was really, really cute as I pressure myself per day to get so many stitches. It says, one stitch at a time, one dream at a time. One stitch at a time, one dream at a time. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. And it's pretty powerful. One stitch at a time, one dream at a time. And especially for those of us who are designers, our minds generally are flooded with ideas and designs. And sometimes we have to take that step back, which leads us into aura, which is rest and reset. We have to hit that reset button. Like, hey, no, we can't do this right now. Do your little swatch or whatever it is you're going to do and put that aside. That's for a later date. That's for another time. We're going to wait for this to speak to us a little later on because you have this, and this over here to handle right now. And that's what I'm going to need you to focus on. hmm So, guys, we have successfully gone from A to S, all the way from A to S. He is not for perch, and it's not. Guys, I want you to always remember that I love you. That is, it's a given. But I want you to remember that you need to love yourselves because self love is the greatest love of all. And you cannot love others the way they deserve to be loved unless you first love yourself the way you deserve to be loved. And you deserve the best. Remember that Kitty Lane told you. Remember, Kitty Lane loves you. So until we see each other again on these YouTube streets, peace out, everybody.